You have no idea the amount of ignorant mess we're about to get into right now.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
All right, guys, we're back. This is episode 150 for Three the Hard Way. This is the 1974 action adventure film starring Jim Brown, Fred Williamson, and Jim Kelly as three badasses join forces to take down the man from trying to poison the water supply and kill black people. That is a fictional story that is certainly not true in any sort of regard to modern day life. So we'll start with Micah and then go around. Micah, what did you think of this this blaxploitation Avengers?
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. Yeah, if a 10-year-old in 1970 wrote a script and then somebody gave that script to a producer and a director and said, "Hey, let's make this," this would be it. Because this shit is a 10-year-old's wet dream, right? You got the three biggest action stars of the time coming together to fight white supremacists who are trying to poison the water, and it only affects black people. And there are titties in it for no reason.
We'll get there.
This movie,
Literally for no reason.
for no reason. This movie is very, very silly. But I had a good time watching it. It's dumb. Everything about it is dumb. Everything that all these other like blaxploitation parodies are parodying, like this is a prime example of it.
Yeah. 100%.
This is to me is like a No Time to Bleed movie. That's how ridiculous this is. It's
pretty
fucking dumb, yo. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a good time watching it.
Yeah. Okay. I would echo those sentiments. And there were certain points I was like, "Oh, this is what we're doing." Okay. Like
Right.
we just not giving a fuck. Like aiming a gun. Who cares? Just run and just shoot. And you'll be fine. Like the movie has a very Commando-esque sort of third act. It was really kind of funny because as I'm watching it, I literally said out loud, I was like, "Wow, that was like a real Commando thing." And then Fred Williamson was like, "Grenade!" and just threw in front of a guy and he blew up and then flew in the air. I was like, "Holy shit." Like, okay, it is. Yeah, the story is about as basic as it can get. They don't really give a shit to really do a story.
No.
I mean, not really. They're like, look, we got three of the biggest action stars in blaxploitation movies. Let's just fucking run with that. I think you're right. It is very much a 10-year-old's idea of what an action movie is. Okay, there are many things I've noticed about this movie, and we'll get to it. We're going to have a good time with this. One thing is very true. Fred Williamson might be the coolest nigga on the planet. Like, he really might be the coolest. Jim Brown is a terrible actor.
Oh my god.
He is awful. But that nigga is a linebacker. He's the tank, right? You know, he's a tank. And then Jim Kelly, look, I like Jim Kelly a lot. But we'll get there. Like,
just don't do your own choreography, Jim Kelly. That shit was ridiculous.
Yeah. But I will say some of the stunt work in this movie for 1974 was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So I did like that. So overall I had a good time. But yeah, it's super silly. Like it just is. Terrence?
This is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life. Yo, I watched it last night and...
Had you seen this before?
No.
Okay, none of us have
I
seen
never
it
saw it before. I was crying laughing. Like, legitimately, in certain sequences, I was like, yo, this is retarded. But, like, you can't... It's... I feel like it would be impossible not to have fun with this movie. Like, It's so goddamn stupid. Like, it really, really is. And like you said, like, Jim Brown is horrendous.
He really is. He's really bad.
Jim Kelly again.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Okay. And Fred Williamson.
We'll save it. We'll save
Yeah,
it.
Fred Williamson. I mean, look, he was cool as shit. Like there was when he first comes up, I'm like, I would probably wear that out.
That dude, I was thinking this. I was like, yo, that suit is fucking
That suit
dope.
was fucking badass. Like it just was. It's tailored. Like it's supposed to be.
It was so funny because I had the same thought even with Jim Brown when he shows up in the very beginning. I was like, that nigga is huge. I was like, but that suit is like really well tailored, by the way. Like it was.
I'm like, okay, I would absolutely wear that costume. Yeah, this movie, Jesus fucking Christ, man. I don't even know. It's a tight, like 100 and, like, it's like, what, an hour and a half?
Yeah, it's a tight hour and a half, too.
And I'm like, okay, there's a lot of exposition that doesn't say anything in the first, like, 40 minutes. And then, like, the last hour is just shenanigans. Just absolute madness. And that last 22 minutes was like, all right, fuck it. Again, guns, they weigh 2 pounds. They're just spraying and praying.
Yeah, pretty much.
Every bullet hits. But none of them take any damage. No time to bleed is 100% correct. Because none of them niggas caught a bullet. Not even the one that did catch a bullet didn't bleed. He was like, oh shit.
I'm good, bro.
Like, yo, this movie's dumb. But I loved it. It's so fucking stupid.
That was so funny. So there's a comment. There's like we were texting between the three of us last night. Yeah, because we don't.
You got me. You got me. I was ready to fight.
Michael was
ready
so
to fight, boy.
Because Terrence is like, Terrence just writes this movie ... And Michael was like, don't even show up tomorrow if you didn't love this movie. That shit was funny.
No, this movie's hilarious. Like it's really fucking funny, but it's not supposed to be.
No,
Like it's the most unintentionally funny movie. One of them that I've ever seen in my entire fucking life.
but it takes itself so incredibly seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, okay. Yeah, sure.
Like this is what we're doing? All right, that's fine.
From the very beginning.
From the jump. So let's get right into it. So this guy named House is at what I thought watching this, because again, none of us had seen it, what I thought was a prison.
Yeah.
It wasn't?
It not really. It's just like a camp. Like
It's like a military base camp or something.
right, but like he wasn't arrested for anything. He just got scooped up and taken to this place. And so this guy House, he ends up escaping from this place where they show black men have been murdered. They're like laying on these wooden beds, all dead. And he eventually escapes by like killing some guards. And by the way, all the guards are white, obviously. Everybody bad in this movie is white, as they should be. And
That's the most realistic thing in this movie.
yeah, no, absolutely. He kills one of the guards by stabbing him with the world's smallest crowbar. Just an aside, I thought that was kind of funny. It was tiny. And he eventually escapes. He gets shot. Damn, he hit that dude right in the face with that crowbar too. Damn.
And then
he proceeded to fucking
beat the air.
He was just like, take that rib cage. So House escapes. He shoots a couple other guards, killing them, and he gets shot in the process. He eventually gets out of the camp and he finds these like two white people just like making out on a blanket. And he's like,
a dirty mattress in the middle of the woods. What the fuck? Yo, white people, y'all dirty. Like, yeah, y'all dirty. Get on
Like,
hotel,
what is it?
You got a car right there, yo. Like, just
fucking in a
There's not
car.
enough room in the car.
Nah, fucking in a car is the worst.
It is the worst. But
It's not
you know
worse
what?
than fucking on a dirty mattress. Though.
Right, I'm not fucking on a dirty mattress. No dirty tick-filled mattress in the middle of the fucking woods and shit.
Ew, wow, it is a dirty mattress. I just thought it was a blanket. Nah, that's gross.
Wait, it was? I didn't even.
Yeah, it's a mattress, yo. It's a mattress.
And, ugh, disgusting. So he's like, get off that dirty mattress and drive me back to the city. And so they were like, okay, no problem, black man who's bleeding to death and has a gun. We're happy to listen. So they drive him back to the city, where I guess he tells them like, look, I need you to go to this specific place and find my buddy Jimmy Late, who is a record producer played by Jim Brown. So then the movie sort of cuts to us seeing Jimmy Late's life, which is this dude is riding around in a convertible Rolls Royce with his woman, which was dope. Like, I thought that was kind of cool. Like, they just show these two black people just rich, living their lives, not being obnoxious, just in love. Thankfully, Jim Brown not talking a lot. And they just chilling. He's got a car that's got late 3. I guess he has 3 very expensive cars.
He's doing that thing that I hate with people with convertibles. He's got the top down and the windows up.
Trust me.
I fucking hate that shit. I hate it.
I remember you were the first person ever said to me. I was like, that's a good point, actually.
No, it looks stupid, man.
Well, that way they can hear each other.
Nah, yo, nah.
No, my wife has a convertible, and I'm like, and she's like, oh, let's put the top down. I'm like, it's 70. It's not warm enough.
Right.
It's not warm enough. It needs to be like 80 to have the top down, in my opinion.
Like, oh, it's so hot that I got to take the top down, but I don't want to get too cold, so let's roll the windows up. Like, nah.
No, you do one or the other.
One or the other.
Knock it off. So they're driving around. He eventually shows back up at like his office or whatever, and this white woman comes up to him. She's like, yeah, this guy needs your help. This guy needs your help. And so he just listens to a white person, which I'm like, no.
White woman.
No, don't
Nigga,
trust.
what the fuck?
Like, I'm surprised this girl was like, who the hell is this white woman? Like, she sounded like she know you. Nah, she don't know me. I only love black women. Are you kidding me? I'm a football player.
He's got a reserved space and everything. Jimmy Late.
Yeah, he was the shit.
I mean, he's a record producer, right? He's the Dr. Dre of this universe.
He parked in that spot, but he didn't. Like he's double parked. That's,
I mean, that sounds like something that someone with a Rolls Royce would ride around with the top down and the windows up. That sounds like something that they would do.
Yeah, this is fucked up, yo. Like, park in the right goddamn space, nigga.
This is your biggest. This is where it went off the rails for you.
I didn't realize that he's double parked. That shit makes me very angry.
They don't double park.
I can't stand that. And where the fuck did she? Oh, so he was just sitting in the parking lot waiting for him to pull up.
Yeah.
All night, apparently. I'm like, if you don't get this nigga out of my goddamn car, you bleeding all over my seat. I'd just snatch that fucking airsoft gun out of his hand.
What are you gonna do? You're dying.
Yeah, like,
no,
get out of here,
fuck
nigga.
out of here.
You gonna shoot both of us? You know they're gonna kill you.
So
You shot 2 white people.
oh yeah, they coming for your ass. So then he's like, all right, House. Like, so House talks to him. He's like, oh man, they got me, man. I got shot or whatever. So he takes
this
him
was
to
the
the
first of many laughs.
exactly. He takes him to the hospital, and the scene they show of this dude with these hoses coming out of his nose is gonna be one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Yo, where did they get this tubing?
Like, why are they taped to the? Oh, okay, they're taped to the headboard, if you will, and the tubes are going from the headboard down to the oxygen tank, I guess. And he's got green tubing just shoved up his nose, taped to his fucking.
Taped to his upper lip. Meanwhile,
upper lip.
all right, look, House is played by Gennaro Jennings. Gennaro Jennings is the most overacting overactor that ever acted overtly. Like, Jimmy, are you there? They're gonna kill us all, Jimmy.
I was like,
right before he passes out, he's like, I was like, nigga, I was in tears. I couldn't believe what I was watching right there. Like, they really did this back in the day? Oh, like he was blacking out, like he forgot he was there. I'm like, wow. Okay, cool.
I thought he died.
Yeah, I thought he died too.
I thought he died.
And then he walks out, he's like, yeah, he's knocked out again. I'm like, I thought he fucking died.
I thought he died, yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought he died. That shit was funny. That shit was funny. Pretty goddamn funny. Yeah, no, there was some like serious overacting.
Meanwhile, Jim Brown, the worst actor in the world, he's like,
oh, word?
line? Like, you don't say a line, you stand up. Oh,
I got it. So Jim Brown.
So fucking funny.
That dude was going for an Oscar. Jim Brown was like, he was going for a Saturn award. Like, he didn't give a fuck. He really didn't care. So he's like, look, I got to go to the studio to meet with this band because they're recording. And his girlfriend's like, you go, I'll stay, I'll keep an eye on him. And then, so, look, this shit had me fucking cracking up, right? Because you had a situation where Jim Brown's character is sitting behind the booth, or sitting outside of the booth, and his and like this band, the Impressions, is singing. One, these dudes are very good, right? Like they are very, very good singers, undoubtedly. What trips me out is the fact that the lead singer is the most nonchalant nigga I've ever seen. While he is melting out these serious, he's just like, whatever, nigga. Like, he just didn't give a fuck. And look, I'm gonna say this right now, and I hope he's listening. This nigga looks like Warren from Around the Geek.
Yo,
He does. He does. Terrell, your boy is in this movie.
Oh,
fuck outta here.
shit.
But this dude is just so nonchalant. He's just like, whatever. Like, but he's singing his fucking heart out. But he's just like, physically, there is no level of stress from him at all. It's hilarious. He's barely moving. He's just like, that shit is crazy.
That's what love will do to you.
It's like, do you even care? Do you even believe the words that are coming out of your mouth? Like, no. And Jim Brown's swole ass, he's sitting there and he's trying to jam to it. Like, he's completely off beat. Like, you can tell, like,
listening, like, all right.
I'm mad that Jim Brown made them sing that whole fucking song, and then he was like, "Nope, it's all wrong."
Yeah, he was like, cut. That was really terrible.
you could have stopped this 25 minutes ago. And the thing is,
literally like, nigga, fuck you, yo.
but then you look through the glass, you're like, oh, it's Jim Brown. Nah, you right. We gonna start over. And it's funny because then he had him start over, and I was like, is the movie really gonna play this whole song again? Because they let it go for like 30 seconds. I was like, you could just, just knock it.
He tells him to stop, and then he's like, yo, you gotta sing it with feeling. And then the dude behind him is like, yo, is something wrong? He's like, you right.
Like, what? You all right? You good? And he was like, nah, I'm getting on everybody's nerves. I was like,
what the fuck?
Like, nigga,
he
you
didn't really give you much advice. He just asked if you were cool, and he was like, nah, you right. I'm sorry. Like, and then they started singing again, and it sounded exactly the same.
Right? They were like, this guy's nailing it. They're nailing it. And I like that he shit on the one guy who was like, you gonna get around the corner like the other guys? And I was like, damn, like, I thought he was doing all right.
He was like, were y'all drinking last night? He was like, oh, didn't he ask them if they
he was like, were you guys hanging out all last night?
He was like, they were like, yes. I was like, what the fuck you want us to do? But they sounded fine.
This lead singer trips me out. It's just like, whatever. I don't know.
Love. Like, all right, yo.
Yeah, Warren, you gotta look like you care when you're singing, man. Come on, knock it off.
And the other guy, look, it's three of them dudes. One of them dudes don't look like the rest of them.
Oh, the nigga who looks like he's 47 years old?
Yeah, with a snagger tooth and shit. Yeah, with the handlebar mustache.
Look, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm really not trying to be a jerk. I'm just saying he may happen to look like a version of someone who used to host the show in a couple of years. Like, he kind of does. He kind of does.
All right, yo.
He kind of does. He doesn't.
Yo, he just had a birthday, yo. Like, leave the man alone.
What are you talking about?
This dude right there.
A nigga, shut up. Shut up,
yo. 15 years from now. Yeah. And that's not trying to shit on him. It's not. I'm just saying he looks like, look, is Warren, Micah's cousin if he ain't make it, your boy, and then what's Cardi B's husband? Offset? All right. Just saying. That's a hell of a team. This is
bananas.
Look, this is 1974 Migos. This is before they got popular. You don't know. That whole scene was fucking hilarious to me. Then we come to find out while they were giving a very forceful singing of that song for the second time, two white men got in a cherry picker.
Nigga.
I was like, what?
No, look, that sentence is not ridiculous because that's exactly what happened. They got into a cherry picker outside of the hospital window of his friend's house. They carried in a couple of guns with silencers on them, crept into his window because apparently you could just open the window from the outside, and crept in and shot this nigga like 4 times in the chest. For escaping. Now, Jim Brown wasn't pleased about this as he came back to the hospital.
Well, they shot him. It said, "So long, you dumb nigger." That had me rolling. Like, look, the shit is funny. Like, I don't know why I laugh at that so much.
Because white people saying nigga is just like, it's like they think like they doing something. You know what I mean? And it's like, nah, yo. You ain't doing it right.
Oh, you dumb nigger. Pop, pop, pop. Like, oh, that's
and then fucking Gennaro Jennings again. The nigga can't die with dignity. Nah, he's gotta die like he's being electrocuted and shit. Like, all right, yo, all right, calm down, yo.
Relax.
Again.
Oh my goodness, so fucking hilarious. So then at that point, Jim Brown comes back to the hospital and he's pissed because he's like,
well, did you say they kidnapped his girlfriend?
Oh yeah, and they kidnapped Jim Brown's girlfriend as well because she walked in the room right after they shot
she was
him.
like, what the fuck is all that construction out there?
Wait a second,
it's fucking dark outside.
Why do they have a cherry picker to that room specifically? It seems weird. Are they washing windows? So they grab her up and they're like, come with us, and they grab her up. And so Jim Brown comes back to the hospital and he's like, yo, where's my girl and my boy is murdered? The fuck happened? And this nurse is like, yo, one of the things that's hilarious about blaxploitation movies is that and this is why it's important to make your own shit. Because black people talk to white people like they really didn't give 2 fucks in their own movies, right? Because you could never do that like in the 60s with like movies made by white people. And controlled completely by white Hollywood. Like, somebody wrote the script of Jim Brown screaming on this small-ass white woman nurse. He's like, bitch, I said, where's my girl? And she's just like, oh, my God. And the cops are like, no, he right, though. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, nobody was like, settle down, nigger. like that shit was kind of amazing to me. I was like, yo, they're going to arrest you, Jim Brown. I was like, oh, that's right. It's our movie. He can do whatever he wants.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
He's fucking Jim Brown.
Yeah, hey, look.
Record producer.
Look, the Pharrell of the film. But of all the people there, Jim Brown, even all these cops are like pretty tall guys. Jim Brown is still way bigger than all of them.
He's like 6'3", 6'4". He's fucking huge.
So he's there and he's yelling at this nurse, trying to get answers as to what the fuck happened. And I believe that is Fish from Barney Miller is there. And he's like, look, relax.
I know he's 6'2".
It's a big dude.
Well, he's also wearing like platforms. So
yeah, so you can't make fun of brunch boots, man. All your heroes wore them bitches back in the 70s. Knock it off. You gonna tell Jim Brown he looked like a bitch? I'm not gonna tell him that now. That nigga's 112 years old.
112-year-old Trump supporter.
Yeah, that's
what the fuck happened to you, Jim Brown?
Money. Money. Like, Jim Brown is supposed to just beat Donald Trump to a bloody pulp on TV. Like, that is your arc. He's supposed to support that nigga? Come on, yo. Knock it off. That's one of the saddest things about his career, that's how he will likely be remembered.
Yeah.
By like, not necessarily our generation, but like the generation below us.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that old nigga who was a Trump supporter? Like, this nigga fought the man because they were poisoning our waterways.
So did this cut to him being in his apartment or his office?
I would assume that was his record studio.
Oh,
yeah, okay. It's his office. Because this is how big Jim Brown is. He's got what arguably is the gun from Dirty Harry in his desk, and it looks like a 38 special. Like, that thing looks so small in his gigantic hand. He's just like, yeah, it's no big deal. I'll just put the Dirty Harry gun in my back pocket. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, he's like, as a record producer, he feels the need to carry a fucking Desert Eagle in his around with him. So he's like, look, these white people.
Did they explain what they did in the past? why these niggas are so fucking badass? Or they just three niggas?
I think Jim Brown went to school to study music and became a record producer. And that's it.
Yeah. Like Jim Kelly makes sense just because he's a martial arts guy.
Yeah.
Martial arts.
Fred Williamson is a businessman.
Yeah, Chicago businessman is his legitimate fucking role in this movie. He's just a Chicago nigga. That's it. You from Chicago and he do business, and that's how tough he is. That's how hardcore Chicago is.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. So Jim Brown is like, yeah, look, I need to go talk to Pharrell and a couple of my friends, see what's going on. So he goes to get in his car, and that's double parked, and all of a sudden, these two cars driven by these evil white men try to take him out. And again, this is like a pretty good.
The stunt was pretty fucking dope.
Yeah,
and like I think he did a lot of that shit.
Yeah, like I see him
like,
jumping up and shit and hopping over fences and shit.
Yeah, like him jumping as the car crashes underneath him. That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
By the way, in an action sequence or in real life, if you find yourself in a situation, if people are chasing you in a car in a parking garage, you on foot is way better than them being in a car.
You can't do shit.
They can't do nothing.
But don't run to the roof. That's a mistake. Yo, this scene, there's no way you were crying during this scene, yo. Because this shit is hilarious.
How is this like the best and worst action scene ever, right? Because
Right,
in the parking garage, like
shit was
you see all
getting
this
real.
cool shit, right?
Yeah,
like, wow,
they were
look at
legitimately crashing into cars.
Right.
He was jumping
Like,
fences.
this nigga's jumping up, holding the exit sign to try and leap from being hit by the car, right?
And it
then
was him.
It was him.
I was like,
and then he gets up to the roof and he hops over and shit, almost trips, right? Because he's an everyman. He's not a professional badass or nothing. He's just a regular old record producer, right?
Can you imagine if this was Diddy?
Like he trips over the fence and shit, and then he starts running, and then he fucking toros the fucking cars and shit, and then the cars hit the brick of the top of the parking garage and just burst into flames. What the fuck, yo? They just burst into flames.
well, like,
but one of them was on their way to the edge. The other one wasn't. But then they cut the scene, and then they were both going off the edge and exploded.
Like the first one didn't blow up until it hit the ground.
Right.
The second one just blew the fuck up.
The second
right
one was
before
like,
it hit the brick. I was like, I don't understand how any of this works.
I love this movie. It's fucking
Whatever.
good.
Fine.
Yeah, I was like,
And that's that trope. Like cars just blow up for no fun. Like this is not the first time. This is not.
No,
this is
no.
not the last time.
oh
It
no.
happens in this movie because it happens
Right.
quite a few times. Cars just go through a fucking sign. It's
go
flammable.
through a billboard.
Boom. Hey, but how? So yeah, he luckily escapes that situation by the two cars spontaneously combusting. Then we cut to a scene of Jim Brown's girlfriend, who had been captured earlier. Wendy is her name. She gets introduced to our main villain, Mr. Feather, which is hilarious. And I did not realize this until I saw the movie. That's the same name that Chris Kattan's character was in Undercover Brother. Remember, he was Mr. Feather too. Yeah, which is kind of cool. So they were kind of playing to that, which is dope. So he's this obnoxious little guy that would probably be in the Trump administration if he was still alive, and he's standing next to literally standing next to an eagle, which is like the symbol for sort of Roman superiority in a lot of ways, and very Nazi-esque kind of shit. Every white henchman they have is
I'm looking at
beady-eyed.
this dude like Chris Kattan probably fashioned himself after this.
Oh, 100%.
The suit and everything.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Which, by the way, is kind of cool. Like when you see this movie, you can start to pick out stuff. Especially like "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker" is clearly pulled heavily.
yeah.
I mean, literally Jim Brown and Fred Williamson are in those movies. So it's kind of interesting to do this. So yeah, he's like, look, we got a plan. We're gonna get rid of you people. And he doesn't really give away exactly what he's going to do, but he's like, we got a plan for you and your friends. And so then we cut to Chicago businessman who has never found a top button on a shirt worth
his shirts
buttoning.
don't have top buttons.
They don't need it. They don't need it.
Like, he's got 2 buttons on his shirt and they at the bottom. Literally. I was like, yo, that shirt ain't got no fucking buttons on it.
He ripped them bitches right off. He was like, fuck out of here. I'm never using these. Like, nigga, it gets cold in Chicago. I don't need these. I don't think you heard what I said. Nigga, that suit Fred Williamson is wearing is fly as shit.
Yeah, it really is.
Again,
I would have my shirt buttoned all the way up, but like the suit itself is dope.
nah, yo, you
You're
can't.
right. It's the bottom 2 buttons.
Yeah, he does, like I was looking. He don't have buttons on his shirt.
Little did we know that Chicano culture is just the opposite of black culture in the 70s. They only
They
button
got
the
the
top,
top button.
let all shit go. We went the other way. That shit is hilarious. No, that's look. I don't care what the suit looks like. If you get that shit properly tailored, that shit will look good. 100%. Our president really could learn a lesson from a couple of niggas from Chicago in 1974. So Fred Williamson comes in. His name, it's a fucking hilarious.
It's like Dagger.
Yeah,
Something like
Jagger Daniels. Nigga, he came up with that. There's no way. Because look, Jimmy Late and Mr. Keys, Jim Kelly definitely came up with that name.
Mister.
Yeah.
Like, why your mother name you Mister? God damn it.
I knew a guy. No
Your
bullshit.
Majesty?
I knew 2 people whose names were Sir and Lord for the exact same reason that Jim Kelly's character gives. It was like, my mother wanted people to respect my name or some shit like that.
Yeah, you could just be a person to be respected, but
Yeah.
But they don't respect your name. They're just calling you your name. If your name was dipshit, they'd call you that too. It doesn't change how they feel about you. But that's nor here nor there. Jim Kelly's mom. So yeah, Jagger Daniels, who I like to fashion myself as every day. He walks into his office because he is a Chicago businessman, and he's summarily attacked for no reason by Jim Brown.
Right.
And
I mean, it's just how tough guys say hello.
like this is a little homoerotic, isn't it? Like,
He grabs him from behind and
Yeah,
then
he's
start
like-
wrestling.
he's like,
And
"Ah,
he pulls
man,
his gun
okay."
out and like,
Yo,
yo,
would've
I'm
been-
blowing your fucking head off, nigga. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
He's like, I got you. I'm like,
self-defense.
yo, that's
Like,
not funny.
Right. Like, don't play like that. I don't like that.
Yeah. Fred Williamson's like, yo, see, I got all the taco meat out. Nigga, I was ready for war. So yeah, he weirdly wrestles him in not a gay way down to the ground, and they're like, just fucking with me, man. Remember back in the day? Like, no, I don't remember that. Don't do that.
Don't do that again.
Fred Williamson might be the only black man in the world that looks better without facial hair.
He does. Yeah, he does actually.
Because you put a mustache on him, and he looks
so different. I didn't even know that was
I didn't
him,
recognize
yo.
him. I didn't
Nigga,
recognize him.
I had to.
I looked up Boss Nigga to see when that movie was made, and it's the same year.
Right.
Like, yo, that nigga looks totally different with a
Right.
mustache.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, it was funny because, obviously I know who Jim Brown, Jim Kelly, and Fred Williamson are, but I was like, wait, is that Fred Williamson or is that Jim Brown?
I was literally like, where the fuck is Fred Williamson? What is this nigga showing? Where the fuck is he? I swear to God, I didn't recognize him.
Yeah, he does. He actually does look better without facial hair. It's true. He kind of looks like O.J. Simpson could have played this role. I feel like too, because they kind of look very similar.
Yeah,
back in the day.
they kind of look similar.
But O.J. would have been like, "Look, I'm not really trying to be in a movie with a bunch of niggas."
Where was that white woman at?
Yeah, he'd be like, "I think Mr. Feather's got some good ideas.
Right.
Does anybody need their luggage carried? Oh, I got it. I'll run through the airport."
Look, don't worry about me. I'm black. I'm not black. I'm OJ. I can drink that water.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, nigga.
Yeah, we'll see. So they're just hanging out, and it's really weird. Your friend has been murdered by a cabal of evil white men who just show up with guns everywhere. Your girl has been kidnapped, but y'all are having the most nonchalant conversation about a bunch of bullshit, which is so weird. They're like, yeah, Yeah, what you been up to, man? I just been knee deep in this pussy, man. I'm like, yo, there's a conspiracy happening over there, and like nobody seems concerned. Like Fred Williamson is just laughing and shit.
What is the passage of time? Because Jim Brown's character is based out of L.A., right?
Yeah,
he traveled to Chicago.
And he just flew to Chicago, like,
because he got it like that.
And then he flew to New York.
Yeah, he got
it like what the fuck are the Nazis doing all this time?
I don't know.
Keeping track, because apparently them niggas showed up every fucking where they went. I was like,
they just kept respawning. It was crazy. Like that is one of the things about this movie that actually super works is like the scale of the movie. Like it actually like going, because if you look at other blaxploitation movies or even other movies,
they take place on a block.
Right. It really didn't move that far. Like Superfly, which is directed by the same guy, Gordon Parks Jr. Like all of those movies happen in such a small scale. This movie is like, I mean, it's not globetrotting, but it is multiple states, multiple cities. Like, it does actually have a larger feel, which I thought was kind of dope.
Yeah.
Like they're in Sokovia at one point, or like wherever the Black Avengers hang out. So Jim Brown eventually finally decides to tell him like, yo, shit's crazy out there, man. These honkies got my woman. And so they're like, all right, cool, let's for some reason jog down the street. That doesn't really make sense, but like let's do that. And as they're going down the street, they end up in, which I think is a really dope shot, by the way, of them standing on a platform of the subway. Like it's shot like down and up towards them. It's a cool shot. It looks like the same scene that they had the fight in Spider-Man 2 on that same train.
Yeah, well, Spider-Man 2, I think, took place in Chicago.
Yeah, it probably is, right? Yeah. Like, I mean, just seemingly, which is kind of dope. Again, this is right up there with Spider-Man.
Not took place, but
shot there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. So just as the train is about to come, two white men try to
ambush him.
Yeah, try to ambush him. And Jim Brown, who is a record producer capable of murder, throws a guy under a train and kills him. Like it was no big deal. Diddy didn't even give a fuck. He wasn't even just like, take that. Like he was just like, you just threw this nigga. And the other guy starts shooting at them, and then they proceed to chase him. Now, here's my issue with this scene. It's not that they chase him. It's that they have a full-on chase down the street with guns and everything, and these niggas are in suits and gaiters. That shit makes me laugh. Like, they are running full speed after this dude in tailored suits. It's just like, no big deal. Yeah. Like, with church shoes on, the whole 9 yards. Nobody got a pair of Jordans on or nothing. And these dudes are keeping up. Everybody got on hard bottom shoes. And this dude is running for his life. I like that. Like he's close to them, but then he's not close to them. He's close to them. He's not close to them. They run by a Ripley's Believe It or Not. They're just kind of running down the street. Nobody is concerned about just two large black men just chasing this white man. Again, when you make your own shit, you can do what you want. It's fine. They end up at like a carnival of some sort. And then just all hell breaks loose as more of these white guys show up with machine guns.
Like, where the fuck did they come from? Like, did he lure them to the carnival?
I'd like to think
did they know that he was going to lure them to the carnival where like 17 more of these niggas were going to show up? It's very weird to me how this movie works.
Yeah, there's also a sign in this. Okay, so let me paint the scene for people who are just listening. They're in a carnival or something like that. There's skee ball. There's like the water cannon thing. There's a couple of like a rocking horse kind of thing. And then there's a sign with the two fucking eyes that are like, huh? Like, oh shit. That says Stag Films on it. Because apparently you can watch hardcore pornography right next to skee ball. I just found that to be fucking hilarious. So, shout out to... we need to bring that term back, by the way.
What's
not porn. Stag films. I don't know. Yeah, because isn't that like... That's what single guys watch porn? And I guess that's why that died. Like, nah, everybody watches porn. Like, my nigga, like, what are you talking about? I'm married. What the fuck are you talking about? So, yeah, a gunfight breaks out. Jim Brown...
This gunfight is ridiculous.
Jim Brown is just one-shotting fools with a shotgun. again, just capable of so much murder for being a record producer.
Jim Brown has like the most like surprise motherfuckers scenes in this movie, right? Like you'll see Fred Williamson trying to do some sort of tactical, like trying to get behind something, even if it's as ludicrous as a lawn chair at the end of the fucking movie. He's trying to get behind something. Jim Brown is just like it's like, God damn, yo.
It's basically that. It's basically that. Like, that shit don't make no kind of sense. It don't make no sense. Like, he don't have a flak jacket on. He don't got nothing. He just got a tailored suit and luck. That's all he got. And somehow he makes it happen. So after killing what arguably is 15 white men with machine guns and pump action shotguns.
Neither one of them niggas missed a single shot, but these white men can't hit a fucking brick wall. I'm like, yo, hold up, yo.
They were stormtroopers. Like, that shit was just hilarious. He just walked up and was just like, pump action, bow, bow, bow. I'm like, how many bullets do you have?
Those things only take 6 shots, sir.
Yeah, he never reloads.
No one reloads in this movie.
No, real niggas don't reload. Fuck out of here. No, that's white boy shit. Knock it off. So we cut to Mr. Feather talking to Dr. Fortero, who is the maker of this stuff they're going to put in the water supply to poison black people, and only black people.
Yeah, because that's how science works.
Yeah, because black people, as we all know, have a vastly different DNA than other people. That's what white people at this time, and I guess dumb white people everywhere, still believe. So one, this guy has the worst haircut of all time. Like, this comb over is awful. Let it go. And he's like, yes, I have this serum that I will put into the water. It'll be great. Yes, it looks like Kool-Aid, and those niggers will love it. So then, just randomly, I don't know how they knew, but somehow they knew that in order to... yeah, this plot, it doesn't make any
scene. Jesus fucking Christ.
So somehow these white guys from this organization knew that Fred Williamson and Jim Brown were going to likely team up with other super nigga from across the country in New York, Jim Kelly. So they were like, "Nice try, Jim Kelly. We're going to frame you and arrest you."
Yeah, you know.
So they break into his car. They break into his car and they put just a duffel bag's worth of cocaine under the seat.
Yo, why was there a black dude with these guys? That shit
randomly
pissed me off,
like,
man.
what?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to show that we can be monsters too.
I guess.
Whatever. Okay.
Does he think that they're not going to force his ass to drink the Kool-Aid?
Right. Hello, dumb nigga.
He's like, no, they wouldn't.
There you go. That's the OJ part.
Man, that guy looks like Orlando Jones.
Look at fucking Jim Kelly. Look at Jim Kelly with them fucking boots with the 2-inch heels on them.
A leather suit.
A leather suit, all one color. First of all, don't wear all one color. Just don't.
He was monochromatically correct.
And second of all, if you are going to wear all one color, don't let that color be that close to your skin tone.
Also, the boots are the same color.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too much. Like, they should have been black. You got to break it up, Jim. He was like, nah, fuck all that. So he pulls up, he walks out. He's getting ready to get in his Cadillac because he's a black man. And
now, mind you, they couldn't pick a better day to shoot this
right.
scene.
I was like, is this in Chicago?
It's windy as fuck.
Yeah, it really, goddamn,
probably Chicago.
Yeah, it really is. So this cop, Irish McNasty, he walks up and he's like, "Good day, laddie. Let me see your license and shit." And like, again, when you make your own movies, you get to say whatever you want. Jim Kelly's like, "You really started to get on my goddamn nerves." I was like, "Yo, you can't say that to a cop. And nice stick your ass to death. I don't care who the fuck you are." So he's like, Jim Kelly goes to lean in to get his information, and the cop pulls out a gun and he's like,
what has he got there under the seat?
Yeah,
because I could see under your seat from here.
Okay, one, Jim Kelly's reaction when he stands up out of that car is one of the best I've ever seen. Yo, he was like, you could see, even though it's not in the dialogue, you could see the words in giant bold letters run across his mind. Nigga, are you serious? Yo, he looked so mad when he closed that door. You trying to set me up? And immediately he just goes, fuck it, I'm gonna have a physical fight with a police officer. He does a side kick, knocks the cop's gun out of his hand, and then just proceeds to ass whoop. Yo, he hit that nigga right in the balls too. He's just like, bow. He does a double kick, which did not look cool.
Look, I love Jim Kelly and I respect him and all the things that he did. Nigga, he needed some serious choreography training, yo.
It wasn't clean.
It wasn't clean at all.
Except for the one guy that they did the speed ramp where they did the slow-mo and then sped it up right as he kicked him over the trunk. Yo, that shit looked amazing. I was like, yeah, more of that. But there was a couple that there's a couple times he gets some like pretty decent moves in.
No, there was not. There was one. That one right there. Yeah, that nigga right to the trunk. Like, God.
Yeah, because they sped it up. They were like, and slow motion, fast, and it was like, boom. He hit that shit hard as shit
up there.
Yeah, that shit was dope. I enjoyed it.
That was it.
He
rest
also
of the sequence was horrendous.
Well, when he throws the when he like does a slow mo and beats up the cop up against the car, that was actually pretty good too. Like.
His hat flew off?
Yeah, because
it was so goddamn windy.
Well, he kicks the guy right in the chest, and the guy falls back like
into the car.
But if you look at the slow motion, he hits him so hard that his head falls back and smashes into the hood of the car. I was like, yo, that did not. It's like, bow! Like, oh shit,
hit the antenna and everything.
Yeah. Yo, fucking Kris Jenner was fucked up for days. Which was pretty great.
And then let's not forget his sound effects.
Which of course
my uncle used to do that shit.
Oh yeah,
because he just loved this fucking movie. Apparently, God, yo, he kicked the shit out of that.
on the fucking trunk. Yeah, he did. He kicked the shit out of it. Like that shit was solid.
That was probably like the best. God damn.
That was his best moment in the movie. But then he also does the Bruce Lee thing, right? Which is like, I don't think Jim Kelly was a particularly huge guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's certainly like a thin guy, but he does that thing that Bruce Lee used to do, because Bruce Lee wasn't that big either, where he makes himself look big by like moving his head back and standing, and like as the guy comes with a knife stick, and he just fucks his shit all the way up, which was great. Yeah, he hit his ass with like, and that's where he got fucked up right against the car, which was great. Like, fuck out of here, Kris Jenner. And so then, after he proceeds to just openly beat up cops on a Chicago public street, here comes Jim Brown and Fred Williamson. And I just like to point out, these niggas are wearing capes. They are not wearing coats. They are wearing capes.
Oh, shit.
Yo, their jackets are down to the ground.
I mean, that shit does look kind of fly, though.
Look at this shit. They look like two black wizards showed up in Chicago.
And where did they come from?
I don't know.
Like, that was my thing. It was like, it was the meanest nigga in New York. I'm like, where did y'all niggas come from? Okay. And they're like, yo, hey, that was cool, man. They just beat the shit out of like 12 cops. I'm sure they're not. I'm sure no more cops are going to show up because whatever.
But it was so funny. He was like, "We need to get you the fuck out of here because nigga, you are capable of a large amount of violence, which is not okay." But I just love that they just beat up. He just beat up all those cops and they just bounced. Right. Again, this is why making our own movies matters.
Yeah, you can literally do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, you just can. Who the fuck cares? Hey, that don't make sense, don't it? Don't it? Then they just go to a
cell phone. So like they look at all these people in the background looking like, yo, this nigga just beat the shit out of like 12 cops, and they just sitting there watching.
They be like, oh, ooh, he caught it. Ooh, they tried it. Like, yeah, there's nothing they could do. Hold on, I have to go all the way up to the 30th floor to get to a landline and call the police. All right, well, while you're doing that, we just gonna bounce. We used to live in a lawless time, and so they go to a car wash. And then eventually,
white people
these white men just show up with machine guns. And then
this dude pulls into a narrow hallway, pulls the trigger, and misses all three of them. Yo, this is fucking pathetic.
But Jim Brown got shot.
At one point, Fred Williamson is ducking behind something, and the white guy's got the machine gun, and he just starts spraying because that evil plexiglass. He starts spraying, and then all of a sudden Jim Brown and then they go duck down to reload, right? And then while they're reloading, Fred Williamson just stands up and pop. Fuck your cover. What? Cover? Nah. Pop. Elsewhere, there's a scene of Jim Kelly creeping up behind a guy.
Yeah.
Gets the gun out of his hand and shit. Holds him, uses him as his human shield, and then his boy comes in. Boom! He shoots his buddy directly in because but Jim Kelly's right there.
The bullet could go right through him and hit him eventually. But he shoots him like 4 times. He's moving it around. He's like, boom. Shit. Boom. Fuck. Boom. Like, this is not how things.
Yo, stop shooting me, dude. Stop
shit, yo, y'all gotta watch this movie, yo.
It's so good. It's so good. It's great. It's great. Like, it really is. It's good.
God damn.
It's a product of his.
Didn't give a fuck about his homeboy.
This movie is very much a product of his time, but goddamn, is it not fun? It's fun. It's fun.
Like, he wasn't even aiming for nothing.
No, he was
he was aiming for center man. Like the bullets were gonna fucking go through his homeboy and catch Jim Kelly in the chest. Good Lord.
So they capture one of the guys. Jim Kelly grabs one of the guys, and as he was just getting ready to murder him, Fred Williamson and Jim Brown were like, nah, save him. He might have some information.
Yeah.
So
Jim Brown gets shot.
Yeah, he got shot only because
bloodless.
Of course, but he got shot, and he only got shot because the guy was shooting. He was behind him. So Jim Brown didn't have time to just phase through another wall as he has done previously in the movie. And would not be the last time he does that. So then we cut to a scene of 3 people on motorcycles. There was in red, white, and blue. Now, I say 3 people because as the camera work shows in the scene, these are 3 men riding motorcycles.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, wait a minute. Is it them? And then it got close. I'm like, no, these are 3 white dudes. Okay.
Right.
All right, fine.
But that's not
what these niggas have to do with anything that happens to do with this movie. And then we find out.
Keep in mind, this is 3 white men clearly driving those motorcycles.
Yeah, especially because there's one shot where the man in blue, you could see his very straight hair coming out of the back of the blue helmet.
Right, and I can see that guy's the at least 2 of them. They're very manly faces behind those screens. Those are 3 dudes. They have penises. Knock it off. So I'm like, okay. I thought, all right, well, these are like 3 of their
hitmen.
They're 3 badass, and maybe those 3 will go up against these 3. That's their 3 the hard way versus their 3 the hard way, and they're wearing the patriotic colors.
Yeah.
Because I was like, why are the 3 black men in the patriotic colors? That don't make any sense. And then it was like, okay, they're white. All right. So back at Fred Williams's Pussy Palace, because I don't know if you guys know this, but Fred Williamson is 100% more worried about getting laid throughout this movie than anything else. Even in the midst of the genocide of his own people, he was like, yeah, I'm working hard. I'm knee deep in pussy. More on that later, because it's just hilarious. So Fred Williams is like, look, I got these three baddies coming over. They ain't gonna handle this shit. And I think Jim Kelly thought they were gonna be down to fuck, because Jim Kelly was trying to get his shit all together. He was like, I look good. I got abs. And so these 3 women show up, and they are in red, white, and blue. And the one in blue is a black woman with an afro, but on the motorcycle, she was a white man with straight hair. So it is a white woman in red, there is an Asian woman in white, and then there is the black woman in blue. So we are meant to believe that was them on the motorcycles. I call bullshit. No, it wasn't. But just whatever. So their job, these 3 women's job, is to go and interrogate the white guy they have upstairs that they grabbed at the car wash. Now, this goes back to Micah's point about this being a 10-year-old's like fantasy action movie, because apparently their way of getting information is through
Toplessness.
Through sexual torture?
Yeah. No, you ain't gonna sexually torture me. Hey, look at these titties. Ah, you got me.
What?
Like, all right. And Fred Williamson looked like he's like, whatever y'all done with him. Like, as you know, I don't have any buttons on this shirt. So I'm gonna start doing that. I'm just gonna start buttoning the bottom 2 buttons. Like,
No, but you can't have any other buttons.
Yeah, that's the thing. The shirt has to be designed.
Yeah, he has no other buttons.
I will get. You can take that shit to a tailor. Ain't no big deal. Like remove these
you
buttons.
cut them shits over yourself.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing but fucking
String. Ah, fuck out of here. So they go upstairs. They got like a bag. What I assume is just like dildos as they can assault this poor gentleman. But he deserves it. Fuck him. And they immediately come in and they're just like, look at these titties. They just immediately strip their jackets.
Right, I'm like,
Okay.
I was like, oh, this is the kind of party. Ironically, the thinnest woman there has the biggest boobs. God
well,
bless.
they're all pretty thin.
They were pretty thin.
But that black woman's tits are way
They're
bigger than I would have suspected. I was like,
Yeah. They're bigger than they're
yeah, I was happy with that. I enjoyed it.
in comparison.
Yeah, in comparison.
In comparison. She also has a bit of a fish face.
She's not the most attractive person I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
her eyes.
I would argue-
her eyes are kind of back here.
I would argue none of them are particularly all that attractive.
You know, like it's a 10-year-old. Like they only care about titties.
This white man is like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen, but these niggas have hooked me up. Hey, this is great. Maybe these black guys aren't so bad. Jim Brown gets his bullet wound taken care of.
He looks like
he
could
seems
be
fine.
like Michael Rapaport's father or some shit like that.
Yeah, I can see that. Michael Rapaport's father being a Nazi. I could totally can see that shit.
What,
100%
this-
can
They
see
did
that
it
shit.
about the torture. He looks kind
damn.
of Michael Rapaport.
And I can see Michael Rapaport's father not knowing what to do.
Oh,
with 3 naked
damn,
women.
he does.
Yo, hell yeah, he does.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, Michael Rapaport's dad is in the movie.
And he's a Nazi.
Yeah, that makes sense. Did you know Michael Rapaport's wife is black?
Yes, I did. Because that's his thing. That's like, well, we'll close him down, keep it in 100. Because, you know, I got a black wife, so I could say nigga. That shit wasn't just in Bamboozled, yo.
That's his
Like,
real character.
Dumb Whitey, that's him.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I hate that he's so good on that one show that I like. God damn it. I want to hate him, but he's not bad on that show. But that's who he really is. He's just like a white guy. He's not playing up the like, oh, I'm blacker than you shit. Like,
No,
I'm like, oh, that's who you really are.
Yeah.
Just be yourself. It's fine.
Yeah. It's kind of bothersome.
I
But
gotta have nigga kids. Fuck you, yo.
he's also in a movie called Zebrahead. Take a guess. Like he's always.
I don't care for that. I don't care for that at all. So these women come out of torturing this dude. They of
What
course.
did they do?
Huh?
He didn't have any like bodily wounds or anything like that.
I'm telling you, dude, they had a bag full of dildos.
They pegged his ass. That's
Yeah, they had a bag full of dildos.
They pegged him.
Look how sweaty they are. They've been pumping and sweating for a half hour. They're tired. They're not used to that. They're used to just laying there. Yeah, they look like they got a bunch of water thrown on them.
Yeah, because Jim Kelly does ask her, like, what you got in the bag? She's like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, you good.
Don't worry about it.
I'd be like, you know what? You're right. I don't even need to know. Yeah, so they come out of the room. They look like they just finished running a mile in leather pants. This guy is back in the room. He's just shaking. He ain't never seen nothing like that. He's scared. Bag is open. He just don't even want to look at it. But he probably enjoyed it. So they're like, now give us some answers. Or we're gonna send the pagan trio back in here. Deal with your
He
ass.
was like, you know them socially? He was like, socially? No. Not at all. This is all business, nigga.
He's like, you into that shit? I mean, I'm not saying I've been into it. I mean, now my eyes have been open. I mean, maybe these non-white bras is all right. Yeah, so Michael Rapaport's dad
Got fucked in the ass.
Yeah, maybe he did. Maybe he liked it. Maybe he was
Oh, yeah.
down.
He know he liked it. And that's him, and him sweating like that is him coming to terms with that shit.
Yeah. And those women were like, you want some more, nigga? And he was like, nah, we good. I'm pass out. So Jim Brown recovers from his bullet wound very easily because he's Wolverine, and the three are like, "Look, we need to go and take it to Whitey." And so we see Dr. Fortero and Mr. Feather hanging out by a waterway, discussing their plans of poisoning and killing black folks. Then Jim Brown goes to the airport to pick up his boy. That was the bald-headed dude who was also, I guess, in the record industry because they need another hard-hitting nigga. So they're like, "Yo, go get Fabulous from the airport or whatever." I don't even know who these musicians are. By the way, okay, just as a pause, you're doing a 3 to Hard Way remake in 2019. Who do you pick? Who are the three that you pick? 3 action stars. 3 black action stars.
What's Elon Noel?
I don't know who that is.
Yes, you do. He's Jamal McClain from that movie series that I don't like. The Purge. Yeah, the first Purge.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I like that.
I'll get him.
Which character is he playing?
Certainly not Jim Kelly.
No. Michael Jai White is Jim Kelly.
Yeah, no, that's obvious.
Yeah, Michael Jai
How
White
has this
Jim
movie
Kelly.
not been made, by the way? I want to see
because of the plot, like because it deals with white supremacists. And
no, you can change the villain if you really need to. Look. Here's the thing.
I want a shot-for-shot remake.
No, I'm saying no. That's what I'm saying. I don't need you to change the plot. I don't need them to change the plot. That would be fine by me. Like they should. It should just be like ripped from the headlines. Like they're trying to. You find out like white people are behind the Flint, Michigan thing. Like purposely behind it, and then you just fucking send in Michael Jai White, obviously as Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
All right, so the dude from The Purge is, I guess, Fred Williamson, right?
He would have to be, right? Because I'm trying to think.
You need a tank for.
I'm trying to think
Jim Brown.
of a black man that I would insult by comparing him to Jim Brown, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. No, The Rock can't be in this movie. No, he can't be in this movie.
No, there's way too many black people in this. Oh, hell no.
Nah, yo.
He got a black girlfriend in this. He'd be like, can we
Right. So rescue a black woman? What the fuck?
Just leave her. She'll be fine.
Nah, she all right.
He'd be like, we're friends at the end. He'd like, dap me up. I don't know. Who's another?
Someone with the acting ability of Vin Diesel to be Jim Brown. But I don't know who that would be.
All right, I got to think about that.
Acting ability?
Because Vin Diesel
I am
can't
Groot.
act. Right. Because Vin Diesel can't act and Jim Brown can't act.
Pick any fucking random football player.
Yeah, just pick a football player. It's what they did with this. Just pick a football player.
I mean, arguably, yeah.
Fucking Ndamukong Suh. Fuck it.
I don't even know who that is, but sure.
He's one of the scariest niggas in the world.
Is he scarier than DeBrickashaw?
Yes.
All right, that guy had a serious name.
Get a what's that dude? Terrell Suggs. There you go.
Yeah, boom, nailed it.
There you go. Get Terrell Suggs.
Yeah, the mayor of Baltimore.
No.
Terrell Suggs. Nah, our new mayor, she looks like a basset hound. That's fine.
Yeah, she does.
She going to jail. But
my parents live around the corner from her.
I saw her once fall asleep at an event. Just in the front row. Just straight fell asleep. Bob, head down, gone. I was like, wake up. You're trying to be mayor. You gotta kind of be awake for shit. Oh, wake up, old basset hound. Knock it off. So he goes to pick up his boy from the airport. Then we see two white men involved in this Nazi organization. They see it and they're like, all right, let's keep tabs on it. Jim Brown back at his office, putting together beats. His white secretary, because look, in this type of world, white people work for us. His white secretary was like, look, somebody was on the phone and said, if you want to speak to Wendy again, you need to be at so-and-so corner at like 3:00. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So Jim Brown takes the bait and pulls his car up to this telephone. This telephone booth. This doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. That's not how physics work.
Jim Brown is fucking Batman.
He's a black man. So black man was like, all right, let me go and answer this phone. This telephone booth, right? And as he's on the phone, Wendy is there. And he's like, "Hey, girl, I'm gonna come rescue you." And then this white woman grabs the phone and gives it to Mr. Feather, and they're like, we're gonna kill your girlfriend and all you black darkies. And all of a sudden, this truck comes trying to smash through the phone booth, and it does. But somehow Jim Brown, who was in the phone booth, ends up outside of the phone booth and hanging onto the back of the truck instantaneously.
Yo, how does he do this? I need to see how he does this, yo. I need to see this. Like, you can't just poorly edit this away and expect me to believe this shit. Nah, yo. Nah.
He Batman that shit, and I would just like to point out, this nigga is in brunch boots. And he is still doing this shit. It's amazing.
Is that telephone booth made of balsa wood?
Yes. Because it was just like,
because he's in it, it cuts as the truck hits it, and it explodes into like splinters of wood, and he's gone. And he fades through the truck onto the back of it.
And they were going 30 miles an hour.
Because of course.
Oh shit.
Jim Brown then that's not how signs work. Jim Brown then he climbs into the back of the dump truck. He then reaches around into the passenger seat, grabs the guy out of the passenger seat, throws him out.
He yanked him out. They were kind of moving. I was like, impressive.
Yeah, no, he was just like,
and then he jumps off.
Yeah, he was like, yeet, and then he was fucking through him, and then he jumped off. Right, the driver quickly pulled out a gun and was just trying to shoot him, but it didn't work. Then the driver, not paying attention, drives the dump truck into a balsa wood sign, and as we all know, dump trucks plus balsa wood equals massive explosion, and the truck explodes, and then he dies.
This would make a wonderful Saints Row video game. Like, this is just fucking ridiculous.
I do want a shot-for-shot remake of this.
They were like, and hit the explosion now. Because it blew up from the bottom of the truck. Because why not?
Yeah, he tossed that dude right out of that car too. Yeah, that's some pretty good stunt work.
Damn, yo, this movie's so stupid.
Oh, I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to say he hit a car on the way through the sign, but that's
still no.
That's not how that's going to work.
Cars don't instantaneously blow up.
This is not Last Action Hero. Come on.
Actually, yes, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
This is the last 3 action heroes.
They should all retire right after this movie. Like, you know what? Fuck it. Then we see a plane touchdown because just hard cut. Just fucking hard cut.
To a fucking plane.
After the ridiculousness of Jim Brown disappearing and reappearing behind a truck and then causing this truck to explode through 3 billboards outside of Missouri. They just cut to a plane landing. Wait, movie. I need time to process that shit. I can't.
I want a shot-for-shot remake of this. I do. You know what? I'm actually upset that the second Black Dynamite movie isn't, if the third movie in that series isn't a 3 the Hard Way remake, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah.
It has to be. It's got to be like him, Bullhorn, and like, someone.
Corn. No, he blew up. He died.
No, but each movie is like its own thing. Yeah. Right. But you need like another action
Tommy
stuff.
Davis in his fucking.
That's Fred Williamson. With him.
No, it's Jim Kelly.
Yeah, because he
used to do that Jim Kelly shit.
Yeah, he's the thinnest. And the way Jim Kelly was moving in this movie. Like, nah.
Make Michael Jai White Fred Williamson. Or he could be Jim Brown. I mean, if in his own movie. Fuck it. But yeah, no, it needs to be. They need to remake this. Like, it's ripe. It is ripe for a remake. Man. And honestly, like, if you remade this with like a real budget and like a real working, script behind this, it could actually be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's essentially like a 3-man Die Hard, right?
Yeah. 90s version of this, Wesley Snipes, Denzel Washington, and you need a third. Snipes is obviously Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
Denzel Washington has to be fucking Fred Williamson.
Yeah. See, but Jim Brown is so hard, right? Because
you just need a tank. You just need a tank.
You just need a big dumb nigga.
Who was a big black action star of the 90s?
There really wasn't a lot.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes.
Black action stars in the 90s. I mean, they put Michael Jai White there, but I don't think that's...
Yeah, Forrest Whitaker is not an action star,
Yeah,
guys.
more
What is that?
Morgan Freeman. Cuba Gooding Jr. Damn, if Will Smith would do it, I'd see that movie, dude. If you got Will...
He would have to be the Fred Williams.
He would have to be. Yeah, you're right. That's not bad. I like that.
And he's old enough now. Like he looks, he's got the look now.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Will Smith, Denzel Washington, and if it was in the 90s. But unfortunately, Denzel's too old now.
Yeah.
Like Denzel in his height, that would have
Now,
been...
fucking have Will Smith do it now.
Yeah, Will Smith can do it now.
Yeah,
Will
he could.
Smith, yeah.
Michael Jai
White. And again, who's the third?
Terry Crews. Fuck it.
That's the tank. That's your tank. Yeah. Because he's done action before. Yeah. Damn it. Come on, man. That's a good movie. I'd see the shit out of that. Yeah, look, that's your Black Avengers movie. So Jim Kelly shows up at the airport again. This nigga loves leather, like he loves it. He's like, yo, I look good as fuck in a leather suit, and that's what this budget calls for. So
I did like this shot of him running through the red airport.
That's a good shot.
That shot behind him as he's walking through the airport. I'm like, that was kind of dope.
Yeah, it was. They were at the Washington National Airport, which obnoxiously years later would be renamed to the Reagan National Airport. And it looks exactly the same because that airport fucking sucks.
I hate flying in.
It's the fucking worst. So Jim Kelly arrives in D.C. He goes to his dojo, and he finds the closest Asian man, and he's like, look, I need to holler at you for a second. And he was like, look, fake ass Bruce Lee, I need your help. And the guy's like, all right, man. All right, we good.
Well, no. Jim Kelly is his fucking
he's
master
the boss.
or whatever. It's like, no, you're not. I highly doubt that.
I like that they had a sign up there that said Korean terminology. Like they just had the Korean vocabulary. Okay. So back at the airport, Jim Brown shows up with a van. Meanwhile, Fred Williamson is just, again, this guy's priorities are all about getting laid. It is hilarious. Like, yo, there is a war going on. He's like, yeah, what's going on, mama? How you doing? Like, let me holler at you for a second. This nigga carries a cigar around, never lights it because he's too fucking cool for that. Fuck out of here. And they call him and they're like, yo, like, how's it going in Chicago? He's like, yeah, it's good, dog. I'm working. And meanwhile, he's just banging this chick. Like, they out there sweating, trying to get a coalition together. And Fred Williamson is like, yeah, but I need to have sex with this woman so that I can perform later in the third act and have all the stamina I need. Which you can understand. So he's like, yeah, no, dog, I'm working on it. Like, we good. Don't worry about it. And then Jim Brown goes to see his buddy, and they start formulating a plan to take down Whitey. And so they find out, Fred Williamson finds out that they're going to have this formula or whatever, this serum, and he ambushes them by himself. He ambushes like 18 dudes by himself with one handgun. He don't got a machine gun the first. And he does. And he manages to snag this serum from them. And they have a car chase. And these dudes are like coming after him. They got like, they're all dressed in red, which makes it really easy for him to one-shot kill them.
Yeah, they're dressed like video game villains. Right. Now,
yeah. They end up at some sort of like aqueduct waterway. I'm like, that doesn't seem like a good place for the thing that's going to kill people in the water, but you know, whatever. I didn't write this. And this part of the movie has like a little bit of scale to it, right? Like it seems like a place where like a 90s movie would end, like a big bad fight would happen.
Yeah.
Like the action sequence is pretty good. He's like running through these like little barriers and shit. It's kind of dope. Then he sets up a honey trap where he lays the serum up on this ladder, and they're like, ooh, the serum. And then he just snipes them from below. I was like, look down, my nigga. Like, God damn. And he, of course, just one-shot kills them.
Why didn't these cars explode? Like, they have to get their physics correct.
Nah, fuck
Like,
that.
yo, you got to choose. Don't pick and choose when cars blow up. Yo, they either blow up or they don't.
No, we going with what we want to do. So Fred Williamson kills all these dudes, grabs the formula, and he bounces because he's the coolest dude ever. And then over at the water department. That's what the sign
That's what it's
said.
called in DC, the water department.
That's just what it's called. That's what the sign said. The Nazi dudes, like, they sneak in. They all got guns, and they sneak in because they're about to poison the waterways. Jim Kelly and Goose Lee, they show up. And they were clearly not the ones reclining on that rope because the dude who was Jim Kelly was 9 shades darker than him, which was hilarious. But they come in, they try sneaking across like this area, and the Nazis clearly see them, and then they just start fucking shooting at them. And they're like, "Oh shit, there they are!" And then a fight just breaks out, and it's just all over this factory. Jim Kelly proceeds to snap a guy's neck by standing over him and twisting his hips in the worst dance move I've ever seen. Goose Lee comes. He starts like knocking fools out. He's far better at martial arts than Jim Kelly, but still not good at it.
It's funny watching like chubby people do like acrobatic shit. Not saying you can't. It's just funny to me.
Oh, it's like what was that? Wasn't that a character in like Tekken?
Yeah, like Bob.
Yeah.
Just there's a fat guy doing all this martial arts.
Yeah. Well, he does this move where he falls into the guy, but like scoops his leg to kind of take him down. I thought that was kind of a dope move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you'd catch a knee right to the face doing shit like that, but in this movie, it's fine. Jim Kelly he don't give a fuck about guns. So people just have guns. Or 5 dudes have machine guns on him, and he somehow...
I was like, I'm about to turn this movie the fuck off. Like, he was like, you got me. I just lit his ass up. Yeah. Why not? What do you have to do? Why did you let him live? There was absolutely no reason.
They have M16s, and he's just like, no, it's cool. Rah, nigga. Boom, you're done. You're done. Fuck out of here.
Kicks 5 dudes at once, and they all drop their guns. And I'm like, okay, this movie is...
And then they
really
don't pick them up again.
Like, it's one thing, right? If you watch, like, Asian cinema, Asian martial arts cinema, and, like, all these unarmed dudes are surrounding
you.
right?
Yeah, sure.
Like, it's one thing when, you know, you're the guy, you're Bruce Lee, and you're fighting all those unarmed dudes. Nah, yo, like, this is why black people can't have nothing. this black people is like, nah, yo, they gotta have guns, too, and be Nazis, and surround me. Like, nah.
And loot.
Right. And I'm going to take them all out.
Yeah. No, they really don't give a fuck. Right. Again, the importance of making our own shit.
Right.
Like
I'm going to press down for 2 seconds, up and kick, and just kick all the guns out of their hand. Fuck that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that shit pissed me off. I'm like, look, I want the black dudes to win, but this shit legitimately made me angry. I was like, yo, that's not... Come on, yo.
No, the red...
They all just walk up to him like, what are you going to do? Fine.
He was like,
It's
Sonic
cool.
Boom. Like, I like this movie a lot. I really do. It's ridiculous, but I like it a lot. Then we proceed, I guess in the water department, there is also just like, this is that level in Tomb Raider where you're like, there's a lot of like levels and there's mining shafts and all sorts of shit. You gotta solve a puzzle.
Well, these are 3 different cities that these guys are.
Oh, that's right.
These are 3 different cities. Right. So Jim Kelly was in DC. I forget who was in Detroit, and somebody is in LA.
I think Jim Brown is in LA.
Okay.
I think.
I know.
Or no. Jim Brown, I think, is in Detroit. Because
it kind of looks like he's in Detroit because this is like a dam.
Yeah.
That's
right.
where it would be in Detroit.
Right. So Jim Brown and
kick one. He's sweet. I'm sorry. I'm still looking at this sequence where he has 4 niggas with guns trained on him. He sweet kicked 2 of them and then like backhanded the other 2.
Yeah.
In one motion.
He was like, nah, get those M16s
like,
out of your hands.
Okay. All right. That's... He should be dead. Like that was one of the three that should have been dead.
Again,
It's very difficult.
I
For me to
want
suspend my
a shot-for-shot remake of this. I want to see Michael Jai White take out like 4 dudes with machine guns. Like, that's what I want to see.
As they're trained on him.
Yes, absolutely. Like, how else? Back at the dam, Jim Brown is he's hitting people with guns with silences on them. His boy tries to do the road dog and attack a guy from behind, and then him and that guy wrestle, and they both just go off the edge and just fucking both die. And he was just like, yeah, and they just fucking died. And I was like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. And Jim Brown didn't even have any much of a reaction. He was just like, damn, my nigga dead. And he literally just did the black man with no emotion shit. He was just like, oh. and then he just proceeded to kick more ass. I mean, that's all the feeling he had time to show you, because he's a sensitive guy, obviously. Then there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Nazi gentlemen with machine guns, all headed to the dam, and Jim Brown is there with one handgun. And spoiler alert, Jim Brown wins. Like, he super wins. He eventually gets a machine gun, and or a shotgun, I think. And he is just running and gunning people down. And these motherfuckers have automatic weapons. Jim Brown is that good that with 6 shots, he could take out 10 people. Nigga, he just dodged a bullet straight ahead. The guy was shooting with a machine gun. He was like, no. And he just fucking shook that shit.
He's a football player. That's what they do.
Okay.
Fucking juke him, Jamie. And then he pulled out his fucking handgun and just one shot killed these niggas. Because he don't fuck around. And like a dude falls down the stairs. That shit was definitely not a part of coordination. He just fell. Jim Brown trying to do the 440. He's like trying to do the combine out there. Again, this nigga is in gaiters fighting these dudes, which is crazy. Like, this is kind of a cool shot. Like, they're at a dam and there's like a curve. So he's kind of standing behind the curve as the guy's shooting. And then the second that guy gets in the open, Jim Brown just shoots him right in the back and then runs up and kicks him right in the face.
So he just ran directly at 10 niggas with guns, and they ran away from him. What the fuck is going on?
Because he's the blackest nigga on earth.
It's the Micah style of playing first-person shooters, which is why I'm really bad at it.
Like, you don't need stealth on this level. Oh, word?
This nigga had fucking infinite armor on. Because he just literally ran directly at 10 dudes.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
get the fuck out of here. Knock it off.
And they ran away.
We scared.
It's like they all have machine guns. He's got a handgun.
Okay. But he cool though. So fuck.
Running through, just catching everybody with shots. They're like,
not even like, oh, you got me in the arm. Just straight headshots.
Nah,
Bow, dead. Amazing. We cut to a scene of Mr. Feather talking to the rest of his little Nazi clan. And he's like, this will be a great day for white people everywhere. We'll get these niggers out of here. And they're literally raising a flag with the SS symbol on it, just so you know that they're really bad guys. And they're all like, yes, yes, white man, you are awesome. And then a plane lands, and Fred Williamson has his cigar that he will not let go of, even during the middle of a gunfight. More on that later. And Jim Kelly is there wearing a monochromatic leather suit. And so they lower a minivan or a real van out of the plane. Jim Brown comes out and shows them in the van that it is chock full of weapons, which is interesting that no one checked this van before putting it on a public flight with all of these weapons. That is amazing. But again, these dudes are ready for war, and 2 out of the 3 of them are wearing full leather suits. And Fred Williamson, I think, is wearing one of those jumpsuits that women wear now. So that's kind of weird. But he's a badass, so fuck it. So at the Nazi party, they're all having a good time. They're like, oh man, I can't wait. He's like, one guy's like, I can't wait to kill all these niggers. This is going to be great. They're literally drinking out of German beer steins. Again, just in case you aren't aware of who they are. Yeah, you got like fucking Barbara Bush there, people in the Trump administration, Diamond and Silk are probably going to perform later. It's just crazy. So they're all very happy. There's a guy making out with a dog because white people do that. And so then these three hard-hitting niggas show up and they just start killing everybody. And it's great. And it's 20 fucking minutes of them just murdering everyone. Fred Williamson tells Jim Kelly that the suit he's wearing will keep him okay against electricity. And I found that to be rather anti-science. Because
That's a rubber suit. You be all right.
Nigga, that's not rubber. That's leather. That's not how this works. Because he just scaled a 10,000 volt electrified fence in a leather suit. It was fine. I was like, that's not how it works. But again, look, our ignorance in science knows no bounds. I guess it was vulcanized rubber. And so the doctor, who faintly looks like he could be played by modern day Mads Mikkelsen, that hair is, no.
Why did Jim Kelly take his shirt off?
I was going to ask you guys the same question because I actually don't know. When shit got rough, Jim Kelly was like, this shirt needs to come right the fuck off. And he just proceeds to punch a guy directly, not in the face, but kind of in the face. He was just like, gotcha. And then he punched him in the dick and then broke his neck. That had to happen. And then all the Nazis are like, oh shit, the blacks are here. And then one guy gets shot and immediately electrocuted as he falls because he was not wearing a leather outfit into the electric
No, he was wearing a rubber suit. He says it. He's like, that rubber suit's going to protect you from electricity.
It's not a rubber suit. No,
who knows?
No. Much like your issues with him taking on 4 dudes with a gun, that was not a rubber suit. I disagree. Let's agree to disagree. So Jim Brown is just on some... okay. I don't know what kind of gun he has. I'm not a gun expert. But guns generally that shoot bullets, when you spray, it generally doesn't explode. And he not only does it once, but they're like, do that again. And he does it again. It didn't have a grenade launcher on it. It was just a regular machine gun. And I found that to be quite odd. They were like, damn, dog, that shit was dope. And for some reason, Fred Williamson was like, I'm going to put down my machine gun and I'm going to pull out my 45 and shoot at this guy from a distance.
I'm sorry, Like, this scene is ridiculous, Like, it's... Like, even Fred Williamson is like, damn, what kind of gun you got? This is mine.
Right. Did you get that from the prop people? You bring that shit with you, Knock it off. Oh, fuck. So they finally convinced Jim Kelly to I get that it's hot, nigga, and you don't have a shirt on, but take a gun, dog. Like, you can't just be using your fist to beat everybody. That shit don't work. Meanwhile, Mr. Feather starts freaking out like he found out his 23andMe had a nigger in his blood. He was just like, what are we gonna do with these niggers? They're everywhere. Jim Brown is just fucking people up. Jim Kelly finds a broomstick, breaks it in half, uses them as a screamer sticks, a la Black Widow, and is just beating white people in the woods to death.
This is what happens when you give niggas creative control. You can't, like, nah, yo. Nah. You can't.
I love this movie, dude. It's great.
Just fighting niggas with a broomstick. Fighting gun-toting Nazis with a broomstick.
He don't need guns.
Nigga, can you imagine playing Wolfenstein with a broomstick? Jim Brown got a gun that just
it's got all the powers.
Bullets and shit. Fucking Fred Williamson is hiding behind a lawn chair with magic grenades and shit. Whoa.
This nigga ran.
He got 100% accuracy. Whoa!
This nigga ran across in the middle of a gunfight. He ran. It was in front of a pool. He ran across the diving board shooting people. Like, yo, what is going on?
A gun in Destiny that has exploding rounds.
Right. He got the sunshot and shit. He got the sunshot hand cannon that blows your enemies up and shit.
Yo, this is the same camp from Commando, yo. This is the same exact camp from
stupid.
Commando.
Oh,
Jim Brown fell over a table. Yo, that is
That was so funny. He kicked the table over as protection. He takes people out. I was like, oh shit. He tripped. I'm good. Okay.
He was like, keep rolling. That's good. We good. Yo, that shit was so funny because he trips and falls over that table, and then he ends up behind this round table, and then all of a sudden, Fred Williamson comes crashing through the window, and like Jim Brown's line to him was so funny. He's like basically, what the fuck? Where'd you come from? He was like, just your neighborhood, like your friendly neighborhood window washer. I was like, yo, this movie is amazing. Like, this movie is amazing. Yo, it's got this should have been a No Time to Bleed. Like, it's got all the things that you need. People can't be killed, right? The heroes can't be killed or injured worth anything. You got the one-liners, the bad dialogue, the racism. Yeah, no, it's perfect. It's perfect. So for folks who don't know, we do a show called No Time to Bleed that is just action movies of the past. You can go to blackandblackcinema.com/premium to sign up. $5 a month for $50 a year.
17 dudes. I'm sitting there watching this sequence after he busts through the windows to try to find his girlfriend, I guess.
Yeah.
And after Jim Kelly beats those people with that stick, he walks down the steps and just and everybody just flips over the rails. And then they keep coming, and then he shoots more, and then they fall. All right, fine. All of these people are missing. He jumps over the diving board.
Oh,
wow.
Shit.
Yo, then they run into him.
He's behind the lawn chair.
That lawn chair is this fucking big.
Then he throws grenades and start blowing. Yo.
And the lawn chair got holes in it.
Like, oh, is this where you're hiding? Damn, you're dead. Who cares?
Like, how do you do a combat roll into an empty field and just light niggas up on the fucking? They got the high ground.
He's on the bottom, and then he shoots the wall underneath them, and then they just start falling and shit.
Yeah, no, he got it.
Like
Them bullets penetrated that wall so much it shook the foundation of the building and made them fall over.
No, I believe that.
Oh my god,
his awesomeness made that happen. So then,
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Then they make their way into the room where the doctor is. He's burning. He's trying to burn his formula. Jim Brown just comes in spraying. He's like, rah, nigga, who cares who's in there? Yo, your girlfriend could be in there. He's like, she was literally in there 3 seconds ago. He's just like, everybody getting it. So he walks in. Dr. Fortero is trying to burn up his information. Somehow Jim Brown's gun also has wind power. He was like, wind! And when he shot the bullets, the fire blew onto Dr. Fortero, and then he caught on fire, and then he burned to death. Keep in mind, all of this happening between jumping over the pool, all that, diving through the window, all that. Fred Williamson is right behind him, and this nigga's cigar has never left his mouth. It never has. It's in perfect condition the whole time. It's fucking dope. Yo, what the fuck?
He didn't even look.
You don't need to.
I'm like 2 minutes behind looking at this shit over and over again.
Oh, shit.
I think it was like, I got it.
Nailed it. No, he had auto aim on. Like, it was fine. They're now, the doctor dies because he's literally burning to death, which again, that's a pretty good stunt move, right? This is an actual guy on fire. He's on fire, he dies, and then they're like in an alleyway, and on one end is all these dudes, and they're all shooting at them. They're shooting back and forth, and they're kind of trapped. And all of a sudden, Jim Kelly's like, oh shit, I got a gun. And he pulls out a machine gun and just shoots all those guys from behind.
Right, and when I first saw this, I didn't know that he had done it. I'm like, yo, what the fuck just happened? Why didn't nigga just drop dead like that? And I'm like, oh, okay.
So he showed up, and he was like, yo, By the way, I'm looking at this scene. I'm paying attention to like some of the more details of this scene, right? There's a lot of craziness. Jim Kelly is out there running around with no shirt on. Nigga, when they talk, you can see their breath. It's cold as fuck where they are. This nigga has no shirt on.
Fuck a shirt.
He was like, yo, hypothermia, fuck that. So he comes, he rescues them, and they're like, look, take Wendy. They got Wendy. He's like, take Wendy back, and you make sure she's all right. Meanwhile, Fred Williamson tries to shoot his gun, doesn't work. He's out of bullets because he was going to take on a whole jeep of people. Instead, his gun doesn't work, so he just jumps on the jeep and just beats all these guys up. Throws a grenade in there, jumps off, and blows up the jeep. Jim Kelly just magically grabs a jeep. Puts some dynamite or whatever on it, he's being dragged, blows up the Jeep after he lets go. They all die because he's a dope ass nigga. And they fucking saved the day.
What did he put it on the fucking tail light?
I don't know. He was just like, fuck it. Don't need it. And then murdered all of them. And so Mr. Feather and all those guys died. And so he's got his lady. He's got his friends. Jim Kelly don't have a shirt, but he gonna be all right. And then they get into the van, and
they were like, "You want to finish it?" He was like, "Yeah, sure." So then they get in the van.
This shit's ridiculous.
They get in the van, nigga. Fred Williamson has dynamite, right? And he
still and grenades.
He still has a cigar that's unlit.
Like, look, bro, like, be cool and just light it with a fucking grenade or with the
dynamite. That would have been dope.
Yeah. And then just start throwing the shit.
So they want to destroy everything, right?
No, you got to.
So they're hanging out the side of this panel van. Fred Williamson's got the dynamite. He throws it at a car. The car blows up, and all subsequent cars parked next to it blow up. Like a fucking domino effect.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens.
Yes.
Yeah, when you the coolest nigga ever, yeah. Fuck out of here.
Yo, this shit is amazing. And then he does the same thing with we got another set of cars. Better get a grenade. Whoops.
Yeah. No, I support this. I support his actions.
This shit is
and then
amazing,
it just fades to black as they drive off. And then we see them later. I don't know. They're at the fucking.
But here's the thing.
They're in Versailles or whatever. Who knows?
He throws the grenade or the dynamite at the first set of cars. It blows up. It's cool. So then Fred Williamson throws the grenade. Those cars blow up. They play the same sequence again. Yes, they do. And those same cars blow up again. I'm like, okay, you just use the same footage. In a row. Literally in a row. All right, that's fine. Because,
I don't think the audience is going to notice.
Like, budget. Fine.
Oh, this movie was the shit when it came out. People were...
I can't imagine it wasn't.
People were hyped.
I know niggas were probably like just all over this fucking movie. Yeah. As terrible as it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. So then all three of them, including Wendy, I don't know, they're at the Garden of Versailles or something. I don't know what the fuck they are, but they're all hanging out.
That sweater that
Jim Brown's wearing.
No,
it's horrible.
It's not a good look. Like a fucking ladybug. Like, what is going on here? Corbin Burnson was in this movie.
Oh shit!
Who the fuck was Corbin Burnson?
He played someone named Boy, apparently.
He must have been one of the Nazis. I mean, Corbin Burnson is pretty white.
Yeah.
That's really funny. Yeah, there he is, Corbin Burnson. Oh, I wonder if he was the guy fucking on a dirty blanket.
Oh yeah, that might have been him.
Yeah, I have to go back and look. So they're also playing a song, which I assume is done by the Impressions, called "Three the Hard Way." And it's like, oh, he was so cool, and they had all three of them together. They were three the hard way. I was like, all right.
Right, shut up.
You don't need the music to tell me the story of the movie I just watched. It's fine. They tried to steal his bitch, and then, like, all right, just take it easy. So yeah, overall, I love this movie. It's really great. It's ridiculous, but it's pretty great.
It's a lot of fun, man. Wow. Wow.
It's been a while since we did a blaxploitation movie.
Yeah. Just like there are ways to find this legally, like we did. But
Yeah, so you can. We subscribe to a service called Brown Sugar, which is it's like Black Netflix basically. So
Yeah.
I think Brown Sugar is only $4 or $5 a month, and they have a ton of blaxploitation stuff and a lot of really really bad black movies. Whew. Yeah, like a lot. $3.99 a month, and it's owned by Bounce TV. So if you want to. Yeah, right.
all right, that makes all the sense in the world.
Right. But you can get access to it via the Google Play Store or iTunes. But again, it's $3.99 a month, and I think it has a free week trial.
Yo, it's worth at least the free week to watch this movie.
Yeah, it is. It is. And look, support stuff that's black, and I think it's kind of cool. I think it's dope that they do this. I think they could have a better selection of black movies, but that's me. Yeah. Maybe I'll call them. Be like, could you not put Held Up on there?
Or Held Up with Jamie Foxx?
Yes.
I don't hate that movie.
They had Baby Boy. All right then.
Baby Boy was front and center.
That's the number one movie.
Yeah. I'm like, nigga, that's on BET every other weekend.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
Probably on right fucking now.
Probably is. But that's it for Three the Hard Way. Any parting words?
It was awesome.
Terrence?
If you haven't seen it, I implore you to start. Like we've gone through it, but you have to actually see the shit to believe it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So who are we?
I have no clue.
Oh, that's a good question. I'm clearly Fred Williamson.
I'm Jim Kelly. Sorry, nigga.
You know what? Good night, everybody. That's it.
I mean, look, I can't be shot. I can just spray and pray.
Hey, look. You the fucking superhero.
Look,
There you go.
I don't need cover, nigga. I just don't.
Look, and if I had a button-up shirt right now, I would just eliminate the top 4 buttons.
You don't need cover. I don't need a shirt. You don't need the top 4 buttons.
Yeah, don't need it. Yeah, fuck out of here. And I'm way more interested in getting laid than I am being engaging in gunfire.
Than helping us.
Yeah, fuck that. Nigga. I mean, I got you, but like, nah, I'm kind of busy. All right, that's it for episode 150. That was a good time for Three the Hard Way, and we will see you guys next time.
See ya.
Take it easy.
Bye. You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the black community.